guidance in a world of uncertainty. Within our universe, a mighty star shines bright over us and reflects itself to enlighten our darkness. It is from that star that our very molecules are born, boundless and bright. That mighty star commands a universe of stars that bear witness to our history and are attached to our ideas of the future. In these stars, we find our beginnings. In these stars, we learn of our endings.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. If you've been watching us for a very long time, welcome back to In the Stars with Dwayne and the Black Feather Intuitive Stacy. Hi Stacy, how are you?
Dwayne, I miss you.
I miss you too.
I'm so glad that we're here. We're keeping it real in 2025. Holy fuck balls. How have you been over the last couple of months?
I have been busy like crazy. You know, when I was in Ohio, I was not doing much other than my 5 regular jobs. But now I'm partying and I'm dating and I'm having a great time and I'm just having a wonderful time going to New York and Philadelphia and I'm all over the place. It's like I don't even know where I was before, but now I know exactly where I am. And you know, that's what's happening astrologically in the world because we're in Pisces. You know, we went from the
No.
What?
We did the whole miss each other and all that. No one fucking misses Keone before we start getting into Pisces and all these other things.
Well, we all have life-size posters of Keone in our room, so we can't miss you. And mine's digital. Mine talks. It's constantly bitching.
So this has been a great episode of In the Stars with Dwayne and the Black Feather Intuitive. Thank you all for coming out.
Thanks for coming out. Amanda, we hope you've been well too. I love to hear, Dwayne, that you're an international man of mystery.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I can't say that it's been like a complete shit show for me, but I want to say it's equal parts shit show and equal parts not so bad, you know, kind of fun. But the shit show has been fucking major. So I'm just so glad that Mars has gone direct, and I'm kind of sad that Venus is retrograde. I'm kind of all over the map. And from everything that I understand, and I'm hoping we're going to be able to chat about it today, March astrologically is supposed to be off the fucking hook.
Yes.
So can you give me some hope? Can you give me some, like, everything's going to be okay? Can you give me some fuck Uranus, get the fuck out of my financial house? Can you give me some of that? Because I could use some of that.
Yeah, well, you know what's going to help that because you're Virgo and Gemini. So the Virgo part is all about intimacy and underlying things. It's all about how does this connect with me under everything, and that's the Venus retrograde. There's 4 things going on. There's the Venus retrograde in March. There's the Mercury retrograde, which for the Virgo is going to be misunderstandings and close relationships and clear communication being really essential. Then there's the full moon lunar eclipse. That's in your sign. So it's signaling personal transformations and self-awareness. So this must be a hard time because you're just going up those steps and you're about to go to get to the really good thing. So, and then the new moon solar eclipse is the time for setting intentions. And let me give you the date for that. So the date for the new moon solar eclipse. So Venus goes retrograde March 1st to April 12th. Mercury is March 15th to April 7th. Neptune goes into Aries on March 30th. So that's something you don't even have to worry about right now. The solar eclipse is on the 29th. The lunar eclipse is on the 13th to the 14th. So that's your time to set the intentions, March 13th to 14th.
Okay.
And when you do that, it immediately begins. because then right after that, you've got the equinox and all this great stuff propelling all that stuff forward. So you
Okay.
and everybody else out there who's having a rough time right now, because right now it's a very sensitive time. It's a very emotional time. Things are hitting very hard.
No
Um,
fucking joke.
yeah, so for anybody dealing with that, just know that coming up on that March 13th, 14th, that's the time to start saying, I want this, I want that. And not even to say I want. I keep forgetting to tell people this.
I have.
I am. Thank you for gratitude for already having what it is that you desire.
And
And then
thank
that
you,
counts.
universe, bring me more. Thank
Yeah,
you, universe, bring me more.
and I'm open to abundance in this area and whatever you need to jump on in that.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know?
my God. So my Uranus has been in my 8th house
Mhm.
for like ever. And I have like Lilith in my 8th house, or I've had Lilith in my 8th house. I've had, I forget if it's North Node or South Node. I think it's my North Node has been in my 8th house as well. This has been like, it's like 3 years going on. I'm like, I mean, if I didn't have shorts on, I'd be standing up and kicking Uranus's ass out the fucking door right now. And I just like every time it's you described it perfectly. I'm getting to that crest. Every time I get to that crest, it's like something knocks me back, or there's one more thing, one more thing, one more thing.
Yeah.
I've had it. Like I've had it. Stop the world. I want to get off. Like I'm just done.
Yeah. Well, and that's probably coming from this Pisces situation.
Hmm.
Most generally, and then everything else is going to be helpful toward fixing that, toward
Yeah.
making you feel more stable, less like water that doesn't have a glass.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And the eighth house, that rules getting money from other people, that rules intimacy, major life changes, beginnings, all that stuff. So that
it's the
means you're
Phoenix.
just at the edge of something
Yeah.
that's crappy. But remember, whenever things are really bad, that means that it's just like a glacier. You see only the top 30% of the glacier, the rest of it, 70% of it is under the water. So that's, you're getting this negativity, but when you get over into the positive side, you get the 70% too. You know,
Right. The
so
70% negativity or the
no,
positivity?
of good, of the
Okay,
exact.
because I was gonna say I've hit my limit. I've been at my
Yeah,
limit for a year and a half. Like I'm in that space, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers right
yeah,
now and a lot of my clients hear me out because you're not alone in this. You
yeah,
get to that point where you're like, okay, I'm just constantly waiting for the shift. It's got to get better. It's got to
yeah,
get better from here. It's got to get better from here. And then you get one more, one more, one more. And I'm a pretty strong person. And I'm at the point where I'm like, well, what the fuck does it all mean? Like, what is the point of all of it? Why do I even bother getting up and getting out of bed if nothing has shifted or changed? You know, like I'm done. Stick a fork
yeah.
in me. I'm
Well,
day drinking for God's sake.
what are your? Me too.
Cheers. Keone, where's your wine?
He's doing cocaine over there.
You know what's so funny? Never mind. It's not. It is a powdered donut. Number
Yeah,
one.
right. Yeah,
Okay.
right. It's snowing in North Carolina, y'all.
I'm so
Sprinkles of
sorry that
Special
I'm
K or
so
something.
sorry that I'm not drinking at 6:13 p.m. Well, it is happy hour, right?
Well, and it's 4:13 p.m. for me, so
Yeah.
it really truly is day drinking.
Yeah. And since the reason why I don't have wine, Dwayne, because I'm a grown ass man and I drink liquor.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Wow.
So it's tequila shots over here.
The debate is still out on that, I'm going to say.
Yeah, and you know,
Real men drink wine. Real men
That's
drink
right.
You
wine.
say the debate is, you know what, you guys are going to turn this into a different type of show because I'm about to slap it on the table.
Show us your meat. Show us your meat.
Oh my God,
Well,
Jesus.
please don't. Please don't.
I was so happy to see you two back, and now I'm judging my life choices.
All I can think is eggplant.
So, Dwayne, you
What?
know, she's talking about drinking wine. Stacy's, we're done with the Mystify to Divine. That
Oh.
has come and gone.
Uh-huh.
And now she has a new show, Black Feather Couture, Designing a VIP Life. It's has so many crazy segments in there. She does day drinking and tarot.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go over my favorite ones. Mythbusters is my favorite one. because she
Yeah.
goes
Oh,
over the myths, and we have a cool little theme for it and all of that. So that's cool. It's Getting Hot in Here is a great one because she sings. We
No,
have
it's not
Beyond
that kind of show.
we have Beyond the Cards, to where she talks about way more than just tarot. We have a segment that's coming up. We haven't done one yet called Shooting the Shit. Gonna love when you're on there.
Yes,
oh
I
yeah.
can't wait to have you on there. And we don't even know exactly what that looks like. But you know what, Keone, since you're talking about it, Dwayne, let's put out there kind of like what we do with this. If you have a question that you want to submit and you want to hear, us talk about it, like when Dwayne
Hmm.
comes on my shooting the shit, you want to learn something from him that's maybe a little personal, or it's not about reading so much. It's about the shooting the
Anal
shit is
bleaching.
like us just talking as people.
Yeah.
How did you get into what you're doing and things like that. So that would be kind of cool to have viewer participation in that. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, we can talk about things like anal bleaching, hamster hung men,
Oh,
so many things.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
your show. That's not my show. That's your show, dude.
You
Oh,
you can always tell when Dwayne is single because he
no,
just
I'm
starts
not.
saying,
You're not? Are you connected already? You're already taken. Look at
Lord, he doesn't waste
you.
any time, does he?
Five.
I just can't stay single. It's the weirdest thing, but it's always the 10th guy I meet. It ends up being
No, number 10. Number
number
10.
10.
Oh my
Yeah,
That's the
goodness.
number. That's the number for you, number 10.
yeah. I dated about 10 guys over a couple of months, and I met this great guy, and now, things is good.
Fantastic.
Things is good, as they say in the hood.
Oh,
I
good for
love
you.
that.
Good for you. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
astrologically, what's up for me in the romance department? And PS and FYI, I am not doing anything other than just going out and being organic. So I don't know if it's ever going to happen.
Well, that's the thing. I try to tell my girlfriends this because a lot of people are stuck on this organic thing. But let me tell you, when you meet someone organically, okay, all you know about them is that they do what they're doing when you meet them and that you're attracted to them, but you don't know anything else. When you go online and you have different people, you can know, oh, this is a person who likes to travel. This is it. If you do it organically, you're doing like weeks, months of figuring out, is this person right? And chances are they're not, because a lot of them are not.
Well, don't
Dwayne,
forget who I am, though. I'm psychic and I manifest. So I
Well,
cut out
yeah,
all of that nonsense and shenaniganery.
I do the same thing, but I gave myself, you have, just with any manifestation, you can't just sit in a room and say, I want, and it comes. You have to make the steps toward it. Like
Yeah.
what I did was I went and I went out of my comfort zone and dated people I wouldn't normally date. I met a guy who was 5'2", and I knew it wasn't going to work, but he was a nice guy, but I knew it couldn't work because as soon as I went on the date, I went to hug him and I pulled my entire right side of my back out. Then I stepped on him during the date 4 times. And then all I could think was, if we end up going to bed together, I'm going to roll over on this guy and smother him to death. So I said to him, look, little guy, it's not going to work out. And he looked up at me and he said, oh, shucks, I really liked you.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, I went out with a lot of different people. There was a guy who smelled like baked beans. But then I met this guy, and he's just really great. He's like a really sweet guy. He's loving.
oh,
All the things I wanted in the last couple of duds.
What's his sign?
He's a Capricorn. I only date Capricorns for some
Oh
reason.
my God, you're like me and engineers. I don't even plan it that way, but everybody's a fucking engineer.
I know. And Capricorns, it's just wild.
Wow. Well, good for you. I'm excited
Yeah.
for you. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really nice and fun. And oh, it's going to be a good spring. And plus, in 2 weeks, I go to Honduras. I'm going to be in Honduras for a week, which should be fun if I
Yeah.
don't get killed. And
Yeah, you do have to be careful. So my honeymoon many years ago, we stayed at an island off of Honduras. So we were in Roatan and we
that's
were
where
on
I'm
an
going.
island off of Roatan. So Roatan is safe. Honduras is not. And I
Yeah.
got to tell you, I'm going to just be real real with you guys, kind of a vulnerable moment. I felt like such an asshole, like full on capital A. we got there and it was so hot and the air conditioning was broken in the airport when we got into Roatan, and they had us crammed in like sardines, and it was like, I don't know, like 95 in the shade, and it's crazy
Oh,
humidity because it's a tropical environment. People
yeah.
were passing out. I was feeling nauseous. We got through the immigration, whatever, and we got on the other side, and our wonderful sweetheart driver picked us up. And
Uh-huh.
here I am bitching and complaining about, having to wait 45 minutes in this line and almost passing out and other people passing out. And he's like apologizing profusely. And I'm like, it's not your fault. You don't have to apologize. Then as he starts, sort of talking about the island and sharing his story, it comes out that the poor man was actually kidnapped, held for ransom for he wouldn't even disclose the amount of time. And I was like, oh my God. And he was talking about how, like, you don't want to be in Honduras. Here we are really big on safety and blah, 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 because of what it is. I mean, capital A. And I just stopped in that moment and I just said to him, I am mortified at myself. Please forgive me. I apologize for having my head up my ass. I'm so glad you're safe. And
Yeah.
like, I asked him another question. And he says, well, I'd really just rather not talk about it. And I'm like, got you. But OMG. So be careful and tip your driver really well because he might have been kidnapped.
If you think
Yeah.
that's bad, Dwayne, you should see what she says to me when her videos aren't edited on time.
Oh, hush. Keone's just saying that because Keone and I have grown closer together in the last month than I think we have in the last 5 or 6 years that we've known each other, because we're putting on this new show, right? The Black Feather
Right.
Couture, defining a VIP life. And of course, the Virgo in me has this vision, and the Libra rising in me definitely wants to prettify the vision on a shoestring budget. So I'm like, okay, I've got this idea, and is this possible, and is that possible, and then like trying to convey to Keone what I'm seeing, but I don't have the right languaging to explain it. And then he's like, oh, so you mean you just want me to produce the video? He's like, that's what you're paying me for. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not trying to step on your toes. I just don't know. And this is what I'm seeing, and this is what I want. And yeah.
Well, that's
so
all
I
part
feel
of the
confused.
Pisces stuff too. It's all part of the Pisces stuff.
Oh, well, tell me how is Pisces part of that?
Because the Gemini in me is like, leave me alone, and the Sagittarius in me is like, go away.
And what's your rising? I think you're a double Sag, right? So you're a
Yeah.
double.
No,
He's
he's a Gemini Sag rising.
So you're a double go away. Oh, look at that.
I was just kidding. I don't even know if that's what that means. I was just trying to be included.
He wanted to feel included. We were excluding him, Dwayne. We were excluding him.
He's a bitch rising. That's what he is.
That is true. Oh my God! While Dwayne's going to answer that question, anyone who's watching in the live, if you would like your horoscope done, please put in the chat your birthday and month. Please do not put the year. And if you would like a card puller guidance, please put that in the chat so we can make sure we get that done. But go ahead, Dwayne. Go ahead and answer Stacy's question.
So your question was, what's good coming for you for Gemini, Virgo kind of stuff upcoming during this time?
I don't even remember what my question was. So sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, well, so the good stuff coming up for you is that you've got this ability to create from that point of the 13th and 14th, and right after that, very quickly things start coming. So what you have to think of and you have to be careful of is what you wish for, because you will get it. So be sure to be very detailed in what you're trying to manifest.
So writing it down.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, we don't want to say I want or I need or can I have or thank you for giving me. It's thank you for already sending this thing or having whatever it is, you've already got it.
And here's how I feel now
Yeah.
that I'm experiencing it.
Right. And I find when you're going to sleep at night is the best time to manifest, because if you're laying there and you can't sleep, which a lot of people have that problem. I used to have it, but now I get so tired during the day that I go to sleep. But if you're laying there and you can't sleep, best thing to do is close your eyes and start imagining everything that you want to have in your life, and that will
Yeah.
manifest it,
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true. That's true.
Yeah, you just have to see yourself walking through. If you want the job, see yourself getting up in the morning, getting dressed, grabbing your briefcase, going into the office, working at the place, talking to the people there. You've got to really make it feel like you're already there,
Yeah,
because
I
that's
call
when the
that
universe
future
sends it.
memory. It's like you have to create the future memory
Yeah,
of what you're going to experience. And I swear to God, it really does work. If when I'm grounded enough, when I'm not so in my head and,
yeah.
pissy about things, and I can really just center, that's the big thing.
Oh, we've got a visitor.
All right, Amanda wants a horoscope.
Oh, a WHORE scope or an HOROS scope?
I don't
I love
know.
how Dwayne said, "Get your briefcase," like it's a bunch of businessmen from 1982 going to work.
Exactly. I've been watching Mad Men, so leave me alone.
Oh, okay, that's funny. I'm watching Narcos, so it's the polar opposite. There are no briefcases. There are duffel bags of money. I'll take
You,
that.
you said I'm
Yeah,
watching. You said I'm watching Mad Men. I thought you said you were hitched now.
I am.
Your dating life is a bunch of Mad Men before you were hitched.
Well, I
All
am
right,
a
so she,
Mormon, you know. I am a Mormon. The more men, the better.
yeah, I knew that's where you're going. Did wait, hold on. That's not the appropriate for that. It's
Yeah, better than the symbol.
yeah. So she'd like a horoscope. She is May 1st, and she would also like a general read.
All
Oh,
right.
good. All right. Well, that's a Taurus, baby. That is all about the earth, about life, living life, having a good time. This is usually a really, well, I guess it can be a rough time for Taurus, because you're getting into the point where you can really enjoy your life, depending on where you are, because of the climate. Depending on if you are, in a warm climate and it's cold right now, and or it's getting warmer because of the spring. Because of Venus retrograde, past relationships and things are going to come up for you in the next couple of weeks. Because of Mercury retrograde, you're going to have to revisit old projects or ideas, because that could really be beneficial for you. The full moon or eclipse is a focus on two things: creativity and romance. So it's a time to reassess all of your personal kind of passions. So keep that in mind. The new moon solar eclipse, that's a need for rest and introspection. So what you want to do is to really start thinking about what it is that will make you feel good. Tauruses tend to be homemakers too. Like, they love to take care of family, and they're very family oriented stuff. So they do a lot of things for other people. This is a time for you to think about what you want. And then when Neptune goes into Aries, which is around the middle of the month, subconscious things may come to you. Pay attention to your dreams and to the intuition that you're having around the mid part of March, and that's going to give you insight into all kinds of things. It could be a personal relationship, could be a romance, could be your job. Pay attention to the things that come to you organically through dreams, through thoughts, and through intuition. And when it gets to be the real spring and summer time of this year, that's when you're really going to thrive the most, because really life is about living for Tauruses. It's not about work and all that kind of stuff and stress. It's all about having a good time. So once they can have a consistent good time, they're consistently feeling good. So that's what I would say for you, is just keep up um, with your intuition and with the things that you need to make you happy.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, Amanda. So I was shuffling the cards as Dwayne was talking, and a card literally flipped over. So I had to just stop shuffling. So this was the card that flipped over. And I have some good news for you. So this is the Five of Cups, and Five of Cups is typically a card of grief, sorrow, loss, acknowledging those things. And I was like, are you kidding me? And the message that I heard was, no, 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 you need to pass this information on. You are coming into an end to this grief, this pain, this sorrow. And what they kept pointing out to me is, we've got this like new city, new building, new house, new castle. He's got to cross the ocean of emotion, or the river of emotion, right? The river of life. He's got to cross over it in order to get to this new and better foundation, is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing very clearly that this particular window of time, you've done the work. So anything that's kind of coming at you in the next 3 weeks, what I'm hearing is you're literally just having to tie up loose ends. It's burning the threads. It's making sure that what's in the past stays in the past. There's also going to be, I want to say, a past lover, a past relationship, past, it could even be like a really close friend that you had a breakup with, but I feel there's kind of a lover sort of energy to it. And I'm hearing that they're going to be coming back, knocking on the door, with some kind of interesting proposal, or trying to kind of get their foot in the door. And I feel like that's a thread you need to burn. So it's not about burning bridges, but it's more about you're tying up the loose end, you're burning the thread so that it can't unravel. So the message there is, don't let this person in. Leave the past in the past. And what I keep hearing is there's going to be success for you in this. I'm just going to say, like, the next, 30 days, this month, particular month window period of time, or astrological period of time is really what I should say. You really are going to see almost in real time, this is what I remembered from Blobbity Blue, and I know that I already did the work on that. So when this is coming up, it's not, oh my God, I've got more shit to do. It's, I just need to reflect on it. I need to acknowledge it, and I need to release it for good. It's almost like, sometimes the universe tests us. The universe says, did you really mean it? And it sends us these situations that look very similar to something that you've already gone through. And the whole point is not, oh, I'm supposed to go back around, get on the merry-go-round again. I'm supposed to go back to that person, or I'm supposed to go back into that situation. No, often it's, did you mean what you said? Are you really ready to let this go? Because we're presenting it to you so that you have the option of going one more kick at the can, or saying, no, I recognize this. I know it's not going to get me to where I want to be. I'm letting this go and I'm moving on. Thank you, universe, for the lesson. I release it, and I've got my eye on the prize. And my prize is, the vision of where I'm moving forward. And on that note, when I'm hearing the word vision, I'm hearing that there's someone in your world that keeps their head down. And you want to be careful not to take an opinion from a person that's burying their head, that's keeping their head down, that's not looking at the situation, because they're not really going to be able to advise you in an authentic way, or in a practical way. An analogy that I'm going to give you is, I realized, I want to say months ago now, that I was kind of going through a really difficult friendship breakup. It was devastating. And there were 2 people involved. And one of the kind of the aha moments that I had in all of this was, I have been asking permission, seeking from, these individuals in different ways, separately, permission, and I should say, and permission and direction on how to grow from a financial perspective, how to, I don't know how to put it, but just basically growing from a financial perspective. And it didn't dawn on me until much later, and through the process and the healing and all the damage had been done, that I was looking to people or taking advice from people that they didn't walk their talk. They were not examples. And the backlash that I was getting was more a reflection of me maybe showing them that there was a different way to do things. Me maybe being the front runner to give them permission to, for example, charge what they were worth or that kind of thing. So when that penny dropped, everything changed for me. And I realized, oh my God, I've been giving away my power for a long time in this area with this particular issue, in these particular dynamics. So this is the message I'm getting for you. Sorry, it's so long. Is there is someone that is not walking the talk. They're looking down. They're in their own little world. Maybe they have their own agenda or their own motivation or motive, I should say. I want to say their advice and, a couple of bucks gets you a really cheap cup of coffee and that's it. So really be discerning about where you're getting your information, who you're sharing your information with, and how you choose to act on that information or not. So I hope that makes some sense. I'm sorry I just went on like a big diatribe, but there you go. I know. Yes. And in my situation with my story, it wasn't I want to make it very clear. It wasn't intentional. Like I don't feel that the people that I was in that dynamic with, or those dynamics with, were intentional about what they were doing. I want to say there was maybe a lack of awareness around it. We're all in it, we're all in the soup and the sauce. And I was bringing my own dysfunction and my own, head up the ass kind of stuff too. So, I'm not saying that I'm all that in a bag of chips, because I'm not, but it was kind of an interesting experience, right?
Well, good, because if you were, it would be 1996. So you don't want to be saying
No. Well, in 1990, well, actually, now I'm going to do math. In 1996, I wasn't born yet. I'm 30. I'm forever 30.
Well, these days, what you might want to say is, I'm bussin', no cap.
All right, there you go. There you go. Oh my God, my nephew would be so proud. He would be so proud. 2 years ago, I had him come out to visit me. It was his 13th birthday gift, his graduation gift from grade 8. And he was getting ready to go into high school, and had him come to visit me. And I'm like, okay, you got to teach me the lingo, because I used to teach kids all the time. I used to teach voice lessons. So I was always in the know, and I knew all the nuances in the language and the whatever. And I've been out of that for so long. I don't know what the fuck the Riz is, and what the hell I don't know any of that. And so he was very cute. He's like, okay, so when this and this is what this means. And when this and this is what this means. And I'm like, oh, as in that. And he goes, well, I hadn't thought about that. Maybe that is the origin of it. But he's like, anyway, that's what we say. That's what we say. So he'd be so proud that you use that.
I'm working with senior citizens.
Shut it. I'm not a senior citizen, but I just don't have exposure to that language and that lingo.
Let's not talk about exposure. Dwayne's going to go into a whole different topic. Okay, so before we get out of here, let's go ahead and let's preview 2 of Stacy's new segments.
Oh, here's your badass monthly guidance for Phoenix-led transformation. For you Copper Phoenixes, time is a ticking away for you. For my Iron Phoenixes, look at that peace and quiet. This is going to be a great month for you. Silver Phoenixes, okay, it's all about innovation, walking into something brand spanking new. Gold Phoenixes, get out of your heads. Let's meditate, not ruminate. Platinum Phoenixes, that wolf might be something that you can tame. It might be there for you. It might be there because it's got something important to tell you. Liquid Diamonds, past energies that have allowed you to feel that innocence, that wonder of a child, and bring that into your present moment now. Dun dun dun! It's the death card! And guess what? Spoiler alert, when the death card comes up, no, it doesn't mean you're gonna die. No, it doesn't mean necessarily that someone in your life is going to die. What it really symbolizes is change. So, just because someone is a psychic doesn't necessarily mean that they are a medium that wants to talk to your Aunt Tessie and your Uncle Bob. This is a huge myth out there. I can talk to your loved ones in spirit, but it's not my main forte. It's not my main mode of receiving. I tend to be a medium for the archangels, the ascended masters, for your spirit guides, for those higher guides out in the world.
Wow.
Look at that. Every time I see it, I'm like,
You're like the Oprah of 2025 now, but with mysticism and metaphysical and
Don't worry,
Dun-dun-dun.
Dwayne. Dwayne, you just got a sneak peek at what the future of In the Stars is about to look like.
that's awesome.
Oh.
You get good karma. You get good karma. You get good karma.
Oh, I'll take it.
Look, that's when you go. You get good karma. You get good karma. You get good karma. Michael, you go to hell. Oh,
Well,
God.
I think it's a good time for everybody to just settle down. Don't worry about the sensitivity coming up. It's almost over. And when you get into that Aries section of life, things are going to get real good. So just sit back, relax for a couple of weeks. You're going to be good.
God, I hope so. I pulled a card. Hope we have time for it. I pulled a card just kind of for a general reading on what to consider, what to keep in mind during this time, especially because what I heard was astrologically, like there are so many different planets that are in play, like you were saying, like Neptune, and we were talking about Pisces doing some stuff, and of course
And
we have
there's
Mars.
another parade of planets this weekend. That
Right.
It was 2 weeks ago, and now there's another parade of planets where they're all right next to each other.
Yes. So, I
That's
mean,
crazy.
this is like major shift and change. So, what was interesting is the card that came through for this is the Six of Swords. And I have to say to you, as soon as I saw it, I kind of went, "Aw, like, thank you, universe, for giving us. This is a card of support and grace. This is a card of moving on to calmer shores." And it's the card that says, I always like to describe it like this. You've been on this brutal long journey. You've packed light, and even the stuff that you packed, you've ended up over time losing, having to leave behind, having to give away, broke, whatever the situation is, and you arrive at this little bar restaurant that's right on the edge, and your final destination is across this body of water on another island on the other side, and you can see it from where you're at. So you've got just a little bit. So you go into the little bar restaurant cantina kind of thing, and you sit at the bar, and you're disheveled, and your clothes are dirty, and you really need a shower, and you're just exhausted, and you say, listen, throw me a menu. Can I get a cup of coffee, or can I get a, whatever? And how do our hotel is over at such and such. How do we get over there? And the bartender says, here's your food. And, oh, you're going to go talk to Joe down at the dock. And Joe will be able to rent you a boat, and you'll be able to cross, the water, and you'll get to where you're going. Okay, fantastic. So you eat your meal, it's like the last lap, the last leg of the journey, and you get down to the dock. And Joe takes one look at you and says, you know what? I'm going to do you one better. I'm not going to rent the boat to you. I'm going to actually just take you across. And I want you to sit in the front of the boat, and I'm going to point out some fun things for you to look at along the journey. So you don't even have to oar the boat, because clearly you just need a break. So Joe is an angel. And then you get across to wherever it is you need to go. You give Joe a big hug, a big fat tip. You go into the hotel, you have a shower, you burn your fucking clothes, and you start the next leg of your journey. And I feel like when we're getting this card right now, it's I want to say, like the Hail Mary from the universe. It's the universe saying, I got you. And I was asking you for support and hope today, Dwayne. And I think the universe was like, well, we'll throw some hope down on that as well for everybody. So I do feel that even though March is, we're going to have to hang on to our hats and probably buckle in, I do feel that we are being taken to something even better on the other side.
Well, and to me, that card also symbolizes the thought process because it's swords. So it's happening in your brain. It's all about your perception. So if things are going on, you've just got to change your perception of what they are. If things are bad, it's because you are on the way to good. That's what has to be the perception.
Right.
As much negativity as you have to pay is as much negativity or positivity you're going to get back.
Right.
So it's a great place to be because it's the storm before the calm, not the calm before the storm.
I like that. Well, in 6 is finding balance in our life. And I feel like that's kind of maybe what March is setting us up for, is alignment to what we need. So to your point, we need to be clear on where we want to be aligned to, what we want to be aligned to, because the March is going to align us. The planets are going to align us.
And especially on the 13th and 14th, that's when everybody should really be focusing on what they really want and need in life. So,
yeah.
So again, it's going to be a couple weeks of that sensitivity and those feelings, mostly in your gut that feel crappy, But right after that, we get into Aries. Things go full steam ahead. Nothing can stop you at that point. So,
I do like the Aries energy. It's very fitting that it's in the spring because it really is spring energy. I mean, it's like, let's fire it up. We're growing strong. We're growing tall. We might not be super smart about it. We might be a little more impulsive about it because we're pushing to birth ourselves or pushing to get something started. But there's momentum, and oh my God, I could use some motherfucking momentum.
Yeah. Well, you know what you should do? Dip your tampons in vodka. That's what Martha Stewart says to do, and I always think that's the best way. That's the best way to just have a great day.
All I can think about right now is, ouch, that would burn so bad. You're such a man. You're such a dude with such a penis that you would suggest that.
Dip it in Kahlua then, if you need a sensitive skin version.
You are awful.
Is that where that saying "feel the burn" comes from?
Yeah, feel the burn. Feel the burn. Sure, feel the burn.
Oh my God! I was gonna say I've missed you too. What would I do with my life without you? But every time we have an episode,
now you're like, I really didn't. I don't know what I was missing.
Bitch, you have not going to say that.
No, I was missing. Oh my God, Jesus! This is what happens when
have that on your lips.
This is what happens when they're separated for too long, people. This is what happens.
It's true.
It's all in great fun. It's all in great fun. This is a great welcome back episode today, guys. We're going into March. Do you two both have anything, because we're wrapping up this month in 2 days, for the people to think about going into the first couple of weeks of March?
Yeah. So, well, for me, you already kind of showcased me. So thank you for that. And just so that everybody knows, if you want a little more of Black Feather today, the second episode of Black Feather Couture, Divining a VIP Life, is going out today at, I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Is that right, Keone?
Yes, ma'am.
Like in an hour or 2 hours or something. So
Yep.
If you want to check that out on my YouTube. Also, just want to let everybody know, with all the nonsense and shenaniganery that's going on, I just decided to cut the cord with Facebook and Instagram. So now you can follow me on YouTube and on Blue Sky. And I'm just starting to get things up and running with Blue Sky, but you're going to see some really cool stuff coming out of that. So, please like and subscribe, the drill with all that. We all got to ask you that because it's all about the damn algorithm, but there you go. There you have it. And we are always so grateful when you do that. So thanks for that. And if you're struggling with anything, book a session. I'm here. I'd love to help you out. I get it. I think we're all feeling it. We're all in this together. So, and thank you, Dwayne, for allowing me to tout myself on your show. It's always so awesome to see you. And thank you, Keone, for just being you and getting shit done. I love it.
Yeah, and thank
Oh,
you for being here.
what happened? What did he say?
I just said thank you for being here. I thought you were saying something.
No, I feel like you know something else.
Keone's eating that ketamine donut. That's where Keone is.
The what?
He's in a K-hole over there in the studio.
Oh dear God!
He's doing the
I
Charlie
feel
Brown
bad
dance.
because we promoted Stacy without promoting what Dwayne's got going on
Yeah,
here.
we got to promote
So
Dwayne.
let's go ahead and do that right now.
All
Yeah.
right.
What
So
is
that's
this?
that's Dwayne's new show, Plunger Man, where he's
That's
gonna.
Keone's porn site. That's what Keone looks at when he masturbates. So
That was
just so you guys know.
Dwayne.
What?
Guys,
Masturbation
come
is
on
right.
now. Come on now. Come on.
What? So we can promote MythBusters, but we can't promote Dwayne's new show? Come on, Stacy.
If that is your new show, Dwayne, we got to talk. We got to set up a reading. You need some spiritual help.
No, but it's so much fun. I just can't get enough of it. All I do is I turn all the lights in my trailer on, take my shirt off, I grab as many plungers as I can find, and I
Oh
go
my
at it.
God.
It's a fun
You
time. I'm
guys
telling
are
you. You guys
amazing.
want to have
Dwayne,
fun?
no, but serious question before we wrap up. Are you back to touring or doing shows?
I'm doing shows at Peddler's Village. You can get information at peddlersvillage.com. I have a musical show coming up in April, I think.
Yay, what are
Um,
you doing?
the history of music, 1920 to 2025. I have a piano player and two other singers, and we go
Oh, I love it.
family show, believe it or not.
Oh
So
my God, they're letting you do a family show?
yeah, well, I
I
have
hope
to
your
douse
insurance is
myself
high.
in holy water before I enter the theater, but and I have to put my hand on a Bible and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and I take Valium and Xanax, and I take a whole bunch of stuff to keep me from going overboard.
What's your
Uh,
favorite song that you're performing?
well, the favorite song right now that I'm performing is oh God, the name just left me. Uh, Love of a Lifetime. Do you
Oh,
remember that song? Finally found the love of a
of a lifetime.
lifetime.
Yeah.
Love to last my whole life through.
I love it. I love it. Are you going to be recording it?
I don't know yet. We're still in rehearsals and we're still working out the set list actually with the pianist because I'm doing my own arrangements. We're not doing all the regular.
Oh, okay, great.
So it's a rough show to get started, but it's exciting enough. And the idea is that a whole family could come and everybody, no matter what their age, has a decade, that's
Yeah.
represented. So I think it's going to be fun. And we figured out a way to delineate throughout the show the different decades is with hats and sometimes another little something.
Oh, fun. Oh,
Yes.
well, you have to record it. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a live stream of it too. I could always do
Yeah,
that.
that would be great.
So that'll be in April, and I'll keep you guys apprised of that. March, I'm pretty much taking off because I'll be in South America and just doing my working with foster youth and working on moving from California to New Jersey and New York with my company with working with the foster youth. So there's so much going on. I think I'm doing a show at the end of March, but that might be the only one in March. Then in April, I'm doing about 2 shows a month comedy, 1 a month music, and that kind of thing. So
Love
yeah.
it. Well, break a leg. That's so exciting.
Thank you. And thank you guys all for watching. Welcome back if you've been here before. If not, this was your first episode. Don't worry, it gets worse.
I wish that wasn't true, but it's true.
If you like crazy shit like we do, it's going to happen. So give us time.
And for those of you out there that are new, if you want to see some classy, awesome, sassy, great content, please go to the Black Feather Intuitive on YouTube. And if you want to continue watching a steaming pile of shit, watch In the Stars with Dwayne on Keone Productions. Thank you guys. Good night.
Or look up Keone.